Okay, I did it. Except that I wish I could render the map behind the civilizations. But as of right now, I don't think I can. Okay, did it work? Export legends. Oh, Legends Plus. That's interesting. Let's see. It does export the terrain. Because none of the old Dwarf Fortress exporters, they support this anymore. But the information is all here. Okay, like this is the same process, basically. I think I can do it. I'm pretty sure I can do it. Back in the pre-Steam days of Dwarf Fortress, we had something called the Lazy Noob Pack, a pack containing tons of useful tools for Dwarf Fortress. Announcement window was my favorite. It allowed me to see combat logs in real time as I played the game. SoundSense added something that we didn't have back then, sound effects and music. But one of my favorite tools was called Legends Viewer. By exporting the data of your world into files and loading them up in Legends Viewer, you could see everything about your world in a neat fashion, from entities to regions to a world map with sites and caves and hamlets and fortresses, with hyperlinks and tabs, something that we also didn't have back then. This was perfect if you played in a single world instead of creating new worlds every time you lose a fortress, which in my opinion is the best way to play Dwarf Fortress, since by playing in one world, you can see things changing, the ages passing, you can create an adventure to explore and visit old retired forts you made, you can stumble upon notable characters of your world, and I find that to be really cool. It's like being able to make an impact in a world that evolves as you play. I've been meaning to make a gameplay series where I explore a single world through multiple games. Each video would showcase a fort focusing on a specific goal, and with adventure mode coming soon, I could also create an adventure and explore the world on foot. I never learned how to play adventure mode back in Legacy Dwarf Fortress, so this would be a fun opportunity to learn and make content for you guys. The main reason I haven't been posting for a while and haven't started on this idea yet, other than me looking for a job for the past few months, is that currently I have no way to easily see the information of the worlds I create, since the default Legends mode, while still better than what it was in Legacy Dwarf Fortress, is still very lacking. You see, Legends Viewer still exists, but it asks for files that are currently not exported by Dwarf Fortress, at least the Steam version, so I can't really use it. DFHack, which is an external tool for Dwarf Fortress which generally improves the game and adds quality of life improvements, has something called Legends Browser, which does work currently and lets you see some information like civilization, sites, and entities, but the world map tab is grayed out. And since I want to draw my world map with its regions, borders, and sites, these tools currently don't help me much. So I went investigating. I opened the file that Dwarf Fortress generates. The format of these files is called XML. You see, XML is one type of structured data format, and these files can contain nesting nodes that have data in them, and can be used to store all types of data basically. For example, the file Dwarf Fortress generates contains a node called regions, which itself contains children nodes called region. A region node has an ID, a name, and a type. Just for clarity's sake, a region in Dwarf Fortress is the same as a biome in Minecraft or other similar games. It is basically an area that has an organic shape and can represent some sort of geographical biome. And in the case of Dwarf Fortress, it also includes how evil the area is, so it can be an evil forest or a mirthful beach or something like that. And a site in Dwarf Fortress is somewhere where creatures live. So it can be a Dwarven fortress, or it can be a goblin pit, or a forest retreat for elves, or a cave for kobolds, and so on and so forth. So while reading through the file, I noticed something promising. Nodes called site, which among other information, have a site type, coordinates, and a rectangle. It wouldn't be enough information for me to make a full map, but for now, it would be enough for me to at least visualize the sites of my world. So I fired up Unity, my game engine of choice, and created a script that allowed me to read XML files and convert the data they contain into something that I could see in Unity. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna convert those into strings. I'm not sure if that's performant. Probably not. Pretty sure there's 1,000 better ways to do it. So one thing I learned in my path of becoming a game designer is that the most important thing when it comes to coding is to make things work. So first you gotta make it work, right? Even if it's not performant. I know that some programmers might disagree with this because a lot of programmers, they focus a lot of things being performant, which is understandable. It's literally their job. But to me, as someone who loves prototyping, the most important thing is to make it work, no matter how, even if it's not performant at all, right? So first step is to make it work. And then if it works, you see if it's fun. And then after, you can make it more optimized and more performant. But yeah, there's probably a janky way to do it, but that's okay. I just want it to work. I went ahead and created the UI necessary to display the information of each site. The current Dwarf Fortress XML exporter doesn't give us detailed information, so the visualizer could be simple, with just the name of the site, the type of the site, and the coordinates. Then I made squares that, when hovered over with the mouse, would display the UI. I made a system that ran through each item on the site list and created a square in the world containing the information from each site. I also gave each rectangle a random color for now, just so we can distinguish them better. I also sourced a rudimentary camera script online so I could at least control the camera with WASD, just for now. And at that point, I could just get the rectangle information from each site in order to display sites in their true dimensions. There it is. Now it's a fucking mess. Yeah, I knew there was something weird because the areas are definitely overlapping. See? So I know what I'll do. I know. Okay. I'm not sure. Let's try this. Okay, this is still weird. But maybe I gotta check in the game. I had my doubts that it was displaying it properly since there were some sites that were only 1 unit by 1 unit. So I opened the game and I loaded up the same world that I exported the XML from. And I checked the map on the embark screen just to compare. Okay, so I flipped the camera, so now it should make more sense. So handle mornings, field eagle at the top and basin deserts. So lush handle mornings, field eagle, basin deserts. And then yeah, it makes sense. Like if you see, so this is a goblin fortress, okay? Goblin fortress, and this nightmare dwellers. Yeah, I'm gonna overlay the world map with this. Yeah, so here. Let's look for Ace Mine, and it has a geared blue next to it. It should be small. Yeah, I see it right there. See, Ace Mine and geared blue. Buzzard Profane, Poison Fissures, Stop Seduces. Buzzard Profane, Poison Fissures, Stop Seduces. Yep. Okay, it is working. Okay, I did it. Except that I wish I could render the map behind the civilizations. But as of right now, I don't think I can, sadly. So let me go back here. Yeah, so regions, it tells me the history of the region, like whatever happened in that region. But it doesn't tell me anything else. It doesn't tell me geographical information. It was at that point that I discovered that by using dfhack, I could generate something called a Legends Plus XML file, which contained more information than the default one. Back in the Legacy Dwarf Fortress, it did tell us, I think there was an option, I think it was with dfhack, I'm not sure, but there was an option to export like geographical information. I don't know if you can do that anymore. Let me just test it. This will probably not work, but export. Is there export legends? Okay, did it work? Export legends. Oh, Legends Plus. That's interesting. Let's see. Let me open this with Notepad++. Okay. Okay, I think... Oh! Landmass. Okay, landmass. Okay, so it does export the... It does export the terrain. Let me see here. Mountain peaks, you see? And then the regions, which we did already. Holy crap, it does export it. Oh, okay, like this is the same process, basically. I think I can do it. I'm pretty sure I can do it. See, it has rivers. What's a path? I then discovered that the Regions Plus XML file also contained region nodes. And in this case, they have extra information that the region nodes on the regular XML dump doesn't have. They provided information on the evilness of the region, and most importantly, huge lists of coordinates, which I promptly tried to decipher. With a lot of help from the internet, I created a script that made a 3D mesh from a set of coordinates. By running the XML region coordinates with that script, I was glad to see that it generated what seemed to be the meshes of each region of the world. However, I had one issue. The mesh that was supposed to be the outline of my island was not generated correctly. It was inverted basically, and I couldn't figure out what the problem was. I confirmed that it was indeed my island by juxtaposing its shape with a screenshot from the embark screen. And then, in a rare stroke of genius, it finally came to me. Like the eureka moment of figuring out a puzzle, I understood what it meant. By placing every region mesh into their default position, they all fit perfectly, like a puzzle, making a perfect square. I realized that one mesh was not supposed to represent land, it was the ocean. And once I disabled it, I saw the remaining biomes formed the perfect shape of my world. All that thinking, and I forgot to consider that oceans in Dwarf Fortress are also technically a region. Absolute perfection. At that point, I realized that now I could make a Dwarf Fortress map containing the shape of the world, the borders of each region, and all the sites. But that didn't come without its own set of issues. The first big issue was rivers. The XML Plus file has information on rivers, river nodes which contain a children node called path, which contains some cryptic information that I could not decode for the life of me. I even tried to plot out coordinates and check them against the information on the path node, but it never made any sense. I understand that it's a set of coordinates of some sort, maybe representing positions, directions, and length, but without talking to someone who knows how to decrypt it, it would be hard for me to figure out how to do it. And so, until I figured that out, maybe by talking to the people who worked on the FHack Legends Viewer, or even Toady himself, my map viewer will display no rivers. And another big issue that I had to deal with was scaling. For some reason, the coordinate system of the regions of the world is in a different metric than the coordinate system of the sites. By default, the region is displayed on this size, and the sites are displayed on this size. So I had to do some rough conversion. Because of that, the map will not be 100% precise, but from some tests that I ran checking sites on each corner of the worlds, and worlds of different sizes, I can say that for all intents and purposes, it's close enough. And then I also had some issues with really big worlds having broken meshes upon generation, but I fixed that by making it split meshes larger than a set threshold into sub-meshes. So with the basic features working, I polished it, gave the UI a makeover, drew a logo for it, added some more information like version and an about page, and it's done. I decided to call this tool Dwarven Surveyor. I will make it available for free on itch.io, and I'll be posting the source code so others can check it out. I haven't published public stuff on GitHub yet, so I'll figure that out as I go. As I decode more information from the XML files, I will try to update Dwarven Surveyor with more features. My current plan is to add actual graphics to the map instead of just squares of different colors. Also some other geographic features like mountains, hopefully rivers if I can figure that out. I'm assuming that it's a matter of time until Legends Viewer comes back to its full glory, so Dwarven Surveyor might become obsolete. So please, if you have any feature requests I could do to make it unique somehow, let me know. But in the meantime, I hope that Dwarven Surveyor is useful for you. You can download it on the itch.io link down below. Hey guys, Iggy here. Thank you so much for watching this first episode of the Iggy Dev series where I try to make game development related content. I tried to make it about Dwarf Fortress, so it's kind of a smooth transition. You know, I'm still gonna play Dwarf Fortress in the future and then other games, but I also want to do game dev on YouTube because I think it's really cool and interesting. Again, sorry for disappearing for a few months. As I mentioned briefly in the video, I got laid off unexpectedly, and it was so bad. So I shifted my entire focus to getting a new job, and that took me like a couple of months because it's not easy out there. So I was, working on my portfolio and making little game projects to show to potential employers and reaching out to people I know in the industry. But things eventually got better. I got this job at this amazing company with amazing people. Everyone there is so lovely. Turns out, I don't know if I can say much about it, but one of my coworkers contributed to the Steam version of Dwarf Fortress with Kid Fox, and when I found out, I went to message them. And they're really nice about it, and it makes me so proud to be, working with these kind of people, these really talented people who are connected in the industry and they do amazing things. Sadly, this contract is going to end soon. Luckily, I have something else planned for after the contract ends. But I remember, I think it was in my last video, I was talking about how I wasn't gonna monetize, how I was doing well for myself, working in the games industry. But this layoff really shook me to my core. So I think I might change that. I know my channel is small, but I was talking to some people I told them I wouldn't monetize my channel. I also read some comments, and a lot of people are saying that, if you monetize your channel, YouTube helps it reach more people with the algorithm. I guess it makes sense because you're making money for YouTube, so it shows your content more. So I think that's what I'll do. I know I probably won't make much money from it, but it would be nice, if my channel grows in the future, if I can make some money off of it, or even if the channel is sustainable and I can do it full time maybe. I know it's just a dream, but it would be nice, I have my dreams of going indie and making my own video games, and they're constantly, put on hold because I actually use a lot of my time actually working, to pay the rent. So making games and testing games and doing design and doing coding and 3D for other people, which is fine. It's, good, honest work, but I want to make my own things, and for that, I will need the funding. Again, it's just a dream. For now, I'll just keep trying to make content for this channel. I'll try to make things people enjoy. And yeah, thank you so much for watching, and thank you so much for supporting me and for waiting for months so I can release a new video. Hopefully in the future I can make more content that doesn't take that long to be posted. One video a month or two. I hope I can do that. Because these things, they take a lot of work. But anyways, thank you so much, guys. And I'll see you in the next one.